Hello and welcome to another video. This video we're playing some Concealment and we're running the damage reduction on last rate here. The main reason I'm doing that is because I want to make myself a target, but also at the same time you can gain damage with the cooldown reduction on stim boost. However, I choose damage reduction because it's obviously very strong, and at the same time it makes Concealment a lot more playable than what it currently is. However, you still have the issue of taking a lot of damage during the window where you do not have the damage reduction going. So for example, that damage that just happened to me, I don't have my damage reduction rolling yet, which is fine. I have reflect evasion, and I get a decent amount of damage out of that reflect, which is nice. But once you start getting your last rate stacks up, you actually get some decent amount of damage reduction. It's actually really tanky in general, especially for a medium armor class. Unfortunately, this sniper kind of just like wastes everything and then tries to run away. Even though he has a healer, he definitely should have just like stayed out of range of us and try to save his extra roll that he had. And he ended up just wasting to go even further out of range of heals. It's just a bad play on his part and kind of screws them. If they want to win, like in any sort of capacity, they need to focus up and hit the same targets and turtle a little bit more. They have diversion, they have double AoE knock. They should be trying to abuse that a little bit more, and then the lethality operative should just be trying to do damage, maybe hit the commando, and maybe dump his stuns into one of the sins or me, for example. That'd be completely fine. Overall, for my team, it's straightforward, just do damage and just flat out win. Unfortunately, the enemy team just got shut down so hard that they didn't really get a chance to strategize like whatsoever. Alternatively, best thing that the enemy team can do, obviously in round 2, probably bunker around the sniper. So whenever an opener from a sin happens, they can do something, and whenever a opener from me happens, they can do something. Them not being ready to react to that is not very good. It's bad for the slinger, and the slinger is probably not experienced on handling something like that. The opener on our team is pretty nasty, and I would much rather have these players, how to put it, not get opened on. I would rather myself just get opened on because I know that I'm going to play it correctly. It's most of the time when I'm playing lethality, I do the same concept. Like I'll try to make it so that people are like, oh, he's overextending, let's open on him, but in reality, I'm able to just face tank it, and it's not that big of a deal. I'd rather it happen to me than somebody else on my team that may not play it correctly. So when you're confident in your ability to survive, that is something that you should probably try to take advantage of. However, there are some classes that just cannot do that. So don't do it on like Gunslinger or Sork and stuff like that. Like you only want to be doing that if you're extremely confident that you're not going to grief. Other than that, yeah, this match is kind of just like over. There's no real strategy change for them. We're splitting damage between the Jug and the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger kind of like stays with the team a little bit more, but it doesn't really matter because we're not getting pressured, if that makes sense. Like person losing health is the healer. That could be fine, but the Rage Jug really needs to be hitting the sins. Without the operative can totally hit the healer, especially since everybody's stacked up. However, that's just not what's happening. They're not going to kill our healer before the time limit of their HP bar. So that's something that they should have already realized in round 1. They don't have the DPS for that, but that's okay. So like if you ever find yourself in this situation, you're playing lethality, definitely always look at the healer, because he is somebody that you can always force on as a commando healer. He's not really going to get away. You're able to get a lot of cleave off. Your stuns are going to be most valuable on the sins because they're kind of defenseless for the most part. If there's another operative that's doing a lot, especially with a concealment operative, maybe he's not taking damage reduction. Putting the stuns into the other concealment operative, or the other operative in general, is probably not a bad idea, especially if they're lethality. Other than that, really, your damage profile is not terrible into Sin when they don't have deflection, so that's like a good target swap. For the most part, if you're playing Rage Jug into this, I'm sorry, it's rough. But at the same time, you want to be like immediately ready to force push or mad dash into leap. If you're taking mad dash, you're probably taking reflect. It's totally up to choice. Sometimes I'd probably just take mad dash here. And immediately get your leap off, and then you know, give ability or two, force push, get second leaf off, so you have some CC immunity chain. And then obviously having Saber Ward up is super good, but for the most part, there's like a magnitude of things that you kind of have to learn. I'd be more happy to go into specific use cases if anybody's interested, but other than that, I'm gonna call it here, and I'm gonna work on another video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and some concealment gameplay.